Wonderful Wednesday afternoon to our viewers out there. You're welcome once again to Sports Orbit with you from Leadership TV. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here on the program with me. Salifu, welcome to today's episode of the program.
Thank you, Afa.
All right, on today's episode, as always, we begin straight from the home front, and this time around from the Ministry of Sports. Recall that, was it last week when we had talked about the Ministry of Sports and their budget, and once again here, Ministry of Sports are also in the news once again, this time around, not for the best of reason, as this time around they are planning to spend a whopping 3.64 billion naira on what it termed as non-tangible assets in the 2023 budget. This was contained in the ministry's budget details for the year 2023 and obtained from the Budget Office of the Federation. According to the documents, the breakdown of the non-tangible assets include research and development, computer software acquisition, anniversary celebrations, monitoring and evaluation for research and development. The ministry will also spend the 3.3 billion naira, while about 3 point something million for what we call anniversaries and celebration. We're yet to know what anniversaries or celebration that entails, while for software acquisition, 201 million, as well as monitoring and evaluation will cost 14 million and 94 million respectively. When you see this kind of sums, and you just know that even with due respect to the people who prepare this budget, but when you see all these kind of huge sums with different names attached to it, you just know that all these are just avenues to siphon funds. Because when you're talking of in the Ministry of Sports, first of all, we are talking about research and development. What are you researching and development? Because I'm sure these are the kind of figures they present every year.
Yeah.
And we are seeing things for anniversaries and celebration. What anniversaries? Is it anniversaries or celebration of staff members? I really don't understand, Salifu. And this is the Ministry of Sport we are talking about. Last week here, we did the breakdown of where they are allocating over 1 point something billion to refreshment, while slightly over that, 1 point something billion 7 is for sports development. You can imagine.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate in the country when a whole lot of Nigerians,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, or if I'm not exaggerating it, I can say 70% of Nigerians will always go to bed without having anything to stomach. And at the same time, even those who I can say a lot of Nigerians who have their breakfast this morning are not sure of their next meal.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're also talking about a country when we cannot boast of a standard sport facility.
Yeah, exactly.
A country where we cannot boast a standard sport facility. We are talking about a country where at the current moment we don't have a grade A pitch that can host any international match, including Abuja national match, Abuja Stadium as it is, cannot host a grade A match based on the current pitch or the state of the pitch. But just like you say, we are talking of a sport ministry. We are not talking of a research institute.
Yeah.
We are not talking of when you are saying you are going to spend 3 point something billion to do research and document.
Exactly.
What and research and development. What are you researching?
Yes.
Are you researching on how to go and win a medal, or are you researching on how to go and build a facility? The essence of the beauty, the function of the primary function of sport development of sport ministry is to develop sport, provide enabling ground for athletes to emerge and for people to identify their skill. Then what are you developing? What are you researching on? Are you going to research on how to build sport facilities around, or are you going to research on your opponent on how to go and win your opponent? Okay, yes, you can go there to evaluate what your opponent stand and but getting a working source of money is needed for research is something like
completely.
And at the same time, another 201 million naira. Say to celebrate.
Yes.
What are you celebrating?
That's the question.
Is this a celebration of your victory and the celebration of your victory? Or say anniversary. What anniversary is the Ministry of Youth? Is it anniversary when he won the Olympic gold medal, or is it an anniversary when Nigeria won the World Cup,
or the Nations Cup, or
the Nations Cup? Most anniversary or anniversary when the minister was appointed as the minister, or advance when the farm sec get a promotion, and we are budgeting allocating the whole thing sort of. You know, those who prepare those budgets are experts in money side.
Very well. Very well.
They are expertise and having allocated everything, and they see no any other reason where and where to go to. They just come it under it, hide it anywhere, give it any all sort of name.
Yeah.
Give it all sort of name. Just, and when the money is approved, and they just give. And okay, for instance, if Nigeria is going to ask, if me and you are to going to ask after the money was released or they have given the release, what by next or by the middle of this year or in the third quarter of this year, what are you going to ask me? Show me your research, what you research you have developed this year, or show me what advice you have celebrated, or what are you going? There's no. That is why the term is non-tangible.
Yeah.
It's not something people can see, and it's not something people can evaluate, and people can ask questions about it. And at the same time, you say computer software. Okay, I'm not a computer expert here. I'm not a computer expert. But if you also see there's what we call there's another money about 20 million that was also allocated for the purchase of the new computer.
Yeah.
Then what happened to the one they buy last year?
Very well.
If you check this buying of computer is every year.
Every year.
Budget. Are you saying the computer they buy last year have developed for or has faded well that it's no longer functional?
And we know that averagely a computer, I mean, if you buy it new, it spends a couple of years before
computer of years, no matter how to replace it, at least let's say a minimum of 5 years.
Exactly.
Depending how you handle it.
Yeah.
Okay, are you telling me the one you buy last year has failed, we can no longer function, you're buying a new computer, there's a budget there. Okay. Also, there's another budget about something where they say for fitting. What are you fitting?
What are you fitting? So
many
sums here.
I'm not blaming them. I blame Nigerians because oftentimes Nigerians are not really as educated.
Exactly.
This thing is not only limited to the Ministry of Finance.
No, of course, it cuts across. It cuts across.
When they just hiding the money, bulk of money. Now President Mahmoud Buhari has approved over 240 trillion for as an annual budget. And at the end of the day, you look at where is this money going? And that is why you shouldn't be wonder when we see politicians and administration report that but directors owing directors.
Exactly.
How much is the salary of director? Director owing an estate, farm build an estate, a minister who wants to be appointed as a minister or as any government, people begin to celebrate. Yes, it's not at all. If it is only for to come and serve, why should I celebrate if Alpha is appointed as a minister?
Exactly.
But because I feel that as Alpha is appointed as a minister, he's my friend.
Yeah.
It is not our turn. God knows there's a free money in the middle of the ministry where you can share around. If not, if you are to go there, so I have to pity you. Is Alpha be able to deliver on the mandate?
Exactly.
But because it's a time for sure, everybody begin to celebrate and throw party and say, oh, thank God, it's our turn. As in the local.
All right, away from that, I mean, here the president of the NFF has assured players and officials of the national under-17 women's team, Flamingos, who won bronze October last year, that their bonuses will be paid in no distant times. We call that the Flamingos are yet to be paid their March bonuses since that competition ended in October last year. And here, that even brought me to the point, going back to the budget. Here, you have a budget. There's no place in that budget where you see provisions have been made for payment of coaches or areas when you owed coaches, or a lot of these teams, our national teams, are being owed. And there's nowhere in that budget where it's been mentioned that you've put aside some money to settle all. You could have even hit some of these things under those things that are okay, and payment of players, and maybe inflate the figures. Let people understand that you are even taking them in consideration. But there's nowhere in that budget where this thing has mentioned. Now, president of the NFF is saying, well, your bonuses will soon be paid for a competition that ended last year. And he had to take these girls several times to cry out and all of that before, they are being listened to. And when you say will be paid in no distant time, you are not even giving a timeline when will this money be paid. It's just hope. It's just like, when people cry out to you, just come out to make a statement so that they calm down for a while. Then, you postpone it until when they cry out again. Then you now say, okay, don't worry, soon we'll pay you, and all of that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we're in this kind of situations where we don't value or we don't appreciate people who have done this country proud.
Yeah.
Those young kids, they are just a kid.
Exactly.
In as much as I may agree that the money is not of too much important at their age, but we are not talking about saying you pay them winning bonus, just paying them
exactly.
allowance and
all of that.
Yeah. And we all know we are all Africa, we are all Nigeria, and we know, and most of those, don't be surprised, some of those girls, their families are depending on them. Their family is expecting a whole lot of them. Yeah. Yes, I have my daughter went to play went to play in India, represent Nigeria. If he come back home, he's going he likely to buy me a rich watch.
Exactly.
And for a mother, I will say, oh, if he's coming to buy me, you buy me a cloth, or you buy me a belt, you buy me a necklace, and all of a sudden they come home empty-handed. We look at mommy, don't worry, when they pay me my money, I'll buy those things. But often now you keep them. You shouldn't be surprised when we see some of Nigeria shun the country to go and present another country. Their colleagues and their counterparts from other countries may have forgotten about this completely. But here they are
prepared, looking forward to the next one.
But here they are crying every day. And I'm sure, yes, it is what I want to blame. We will not blame Suzu for this negligence because he's just coming up. It was not up the month when the competition started. But Guso traveled to India. But I'm sure his own traveling allowance when he traveled to India has not been I don't think his own for his transport, his own transport allowance for going to India. So I think we should at the time appropriate money based on those girls and for what is this for. We should always consider those girls killed. For instance, if any of them have break leg or get injured, that would be their life forever. And here they are. They sacrifice their time, everything for the company. Just appreciate and then show them commitment, show them that you care for them. To judge them for the next one, but you are holding on to their money for how many months? 3 months, almost 4 months after. It's not
That's one of the reasons why you see sometimes players, when they go abroad, establish themselves and they decide to switch nationalities because they know that there's more to benefit when you represent other countries. Then I really think
and don't even forget most of those players they went without any insurance cover.
Of course.
If anything have happened to them, that's the end of their career. We have several of them who went there and get career. Often nobody cares about them.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Sport Upbeat continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that break. Still Sports Orbit to some transfer news now, where Super Eagles vice captain William Chus Ekong has joined Syria club Salentina for the rest of the season. The club announced on its website on Tuesday. Actually, they have the obligation to buy the Super Eagles captain at the end of the season. Well, this deal for now, it's a loan from Watford and back to the Italian Serie A. Recall that he made that move to Watford previously from another Serie A side, Udinese. But looking at Chus Ekong, surprisingly, when he came over to Watford, a lot of expectations, but somehow, things haven't gone as well as maybe a lot of us would have hoped for him at Watford, to the point that Watford had to be relegated. And now, for him to go in loan, it means he's a player that is not even, he surplus to requirement, so to speak, at Watford, because sending him on loan with an option to buy. So, meaning that, he's not just simply good enough for the team going to Salentina Well, I don't know, but this is the vice captain of the Super Eagles.
Well, it could be on the contrary, in the sense that Watford was relegated to the second divisions and they are playing the championship at the moment. Although before they were relegated, two second lost his position.
Of course, yeah,
Lost his
yeah,
position,
yeah. He wasn't the regular.
lost in the starting lineup, and maybe because he feel that they are in the second division and he need to play in the league that is competing for, play in the top league, and he may decide to move, seeking for a loan move to the Italian side just to play in another competition, to play in the top league. It's These matters are played in the Serie A, and unlike Watford, who are in the second division of the English Premier League. Maybe because of the going down, that may be the reason why he will want to move on a loan, and then the club says he will not sell. Okay, give me a opportunity, let me go on loan, and then probably an option that if there's a better agreement, a better deal, they can agree to sell it outright. And another thing, it can also be based on what you say, maybe it's subject to the requirement. It's a surplus to the requirement. At the Watford and decide to say no. But the one thing that I'm happy that he's moving out of the Watford and hoping that at the Italian club when he's coming out, will begin to play regularly.
Able to find his feet, and
he is a key player for the Super Eagles. He's the key defender for the Super Eagles, and we need him to be off and fit all the time, not to just sit on the bench and win the bench.
Right. To some other matters now, where the Abuja High Court, actually the FCT High Court, has sacked the athletics representative on the board of the Handball Federation of Nigeria in the person of Udale Joseph Haruna. 6 months after the election, the judge declared that the election of Haruna was conducted by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development was null and void, saying it did not conform with extant provisions of guidelines to accommodate the interest of the claimant, Sami Abua, his teammates, and the vast majority of players in the National Handball League. So, always in Nigeria, same, just like it is, in the national space, in politics, the normal politics, also in sports too, cases always, there's always an issue with, like someone said, looks like Nigerians have a problem with democracy because, even you check our sports in different, even sometimes, even in student union, in the national polity, elections always come with their own issues in Nigeria.
I agree with what you say. The person that say that Nigeria has issue with the democracy.
Yes.
I 100%, I can't agree less. I 100% agree with that person. Because just like you analyze anything that has to do with anything time election,
exactly,
in this country, always come with a case. Civil union is doing who are supposed to be a learner, who are supposed to be they are there. The journalists,
the bar association, exactly. The lawyers,
the lawyers,
yes,
they are always anything, even the doctors, anything that has to do election in this country is always problematic. And what we are seeing here is just an athlete. Ordinarily, athletes supposed to be a united body.
Exactly.
Here, the athlete representative, that's a player representative in the handball federation. I also think that they could record.
Exactly.
It says that I was the right guy. I was the one to occupy that position. You say no one was right. That case has been dealing for long since the election was conducted late last year, and there has been the court, and a whole lot of people allegedly believe that, according to them, both the claimant and his group believe that they have the majority of the players on their side, and the Haruna was not the right person to represent the players on the board of the handball federation. Even during the election, they came with the protest and they come to destroy the election.
Exactly.
They listen to the voice of wisdom and they believe that no, they should suspend their planned destruction of the athletic legal process, and which the legal process has hit to their core now. But Haruna has still have a case. Haruna still have a chance to appeal the case if he wish to, and if he feel that he's not able to appeal, then he have to remove the positions and then allow the Minister of Youth and Sport, as pronounced by the judge, to set up another electoral board and ensure that they are giving fair play to all the interests
of the parties. All right, to some other news now, where FIFA have unveiled the official match ball for the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand later this year. The ball is called the Oceans, and from what we're hearing, the ball, it's an ball powered by rechargeable battery. This was exactly the kind of ball that was also used in Qatar. And of course, it said it provides ball data made available to VAR officials in real time to also optimize decision making, while it's also part of FIFA's semi-automated offside technology. So in essence, the ball is contained with sensors that some things take off some stress from the referee, for instance, and offside, for instance, and maybe to determine whether the ball crossed the line or all of that. Before the referee even goes to check on VAR, he must have received the sensors, maybe through his watch or something, to notify him that something is not properly done. That's football done. Technology not back in the days where football was just a round leather object, but now the football is done precisely. It's done in such a way that when you even hit the ball, it flies in a particular way. All kinds of things coming into football these days.
I think football has begun to be renewed.
Yes.
It's no longer what we used to be. And I quite agree those who are there. That is why some of us I always see Pele as the greatest of all
Exactly.
time. Because a number eras of the Pele, they wouldn't have be able to match Pele in any style at all.
Yeah.
Because the kind of ball they are playing to was not what Pele played. Pele play a natural round leather game.
Football has been made easy now.
Now today, football is a ball like where you kick a ball, the ball tell you how to kick it. You smash a ball, the ball tell you.
It even moves a certain way. How the ball
tell you
moves
move in the direction, and so it's no longer a player controlling the all the current players are playing. Messi, if Messi are playing the era of Pele, he would have anywhere even compare himself near Pele in any halfway. So, but it really amazing that you quite understand. In as much as the world has gone technologies, but building all this kind of form of technology into the football is now beginning to look as if that football is no longer by what you kick and by what you do.
Exactly.
Now, even though you kick a ball, now begin to choose his own direction on how to move. I shouldn't be surprised why sometimes the goalkeeper will stand here, the ball will just swing around and enter the net. But I think, in as much as we are in the technology, but I think that the world body should look make football look very natural. Not just all these kind of sensors and technology that be good. Very soon now, very soon we'll see a football who is just in there with the ball will just move himself in a situation where the ball now changes and react to the left foot that something is wrong by the way Mr. Alpha kicked me. I think even as more than trying to improve on the entertainment of football, I think they should leave it normal and natural.
Very well. All right, talking about greatest footballers of all time, where a Nigerian forward Odion Igalo, according to him, said he believes that Ronaldo is the greatest of all time. Of course, recall that last week where he was in that team where the Saudi 11 alongside Ronaldo. Well, I'm sure he could say that maybe when he plays alongside Messi, he also have a different opinion too. For now, he has played alongside Ronaldo. He's yet to play with Messi, so of course, understandably, he can say that.
Well, when we feel that the story about the gold has been sent to after the Messi heroine champion, but here again, Igalo has told us no, it's not over. That he feel that Ronaldo is the greatest of all players compared to Messi. But well, he didn't compare to Messi. He say he's the greatest of all players. But yes, he has his own. It's all about where your mind and where you stand, who you stand with. And if he's playing in the same league in the Saudi league when Ronaldo is now playing, I feel that Ronaldo is the greatest player. That is his own choice. And other people tell you say Messi is the greatest player, but based on achievements, what we have seen so far, Messi has surpassed Ronaldo record.
Yeah, I agree. Well, story where Barcelona and Sevilla have been thrown out of the Copa de la Reina for fielding ineligible players in the last round. The Spanish football has said Brazil striker Casey started and scored for Barca. Can you imagine that in the 9-0 win over Osasuna in the round of 16 when she was due to be serving a suspension carried over from last season? Sometimes you think these things will happen over in Nigeria. How did it happen that a player who was suspended was on the pitch and nobody was aware.
Well, football is football anytime. Sometimes one would think that it's only Nigeria factor. It's not only Nigeria factor.
Yeah.
And I'm be surprised if a club like Barcelona's and well, maybe the officials will be aware. The film will not tell us that this player is not eligible. The opener will not tell us because they will use it gives them opportunity to file the case and then win the match without even taking the ball.
Yeah.
But for Barcelona, a club like Barcelona will feel that they are
Already in the semi-final of 6-1, 6-2, 6-4 in straight. 10th Australian Open, and of course equal Rafael Nadal's 22 Grand Slam titles.
Yeah, it's all the way, and it's only God that can stop him. And the injury to Nadal getting out of the competition
Exactly.
early and unexpected.
Yeah, actually
And several
opened the way
other
for him. Yeah.
several other key players also be knocked out of the competition. So naturally, Djokovic is the only one standing now, looking like would be winning the title, except God say otherwise. Although since the competition, people he has been claiming that he's injured. That he's suffering, he's playing with pain. But yesterday, another journalist challenged him that we are faking the injury. But when he come on that, well, I don't need to prove that I'm injured. But the journalist said that no, you are faking injured, you are not injured. But if you are injured, you can't play the way you are playing. But he displayed that well, I'm not faking injury, and I don't have anything to prove to me that I'm injured, I'm not injured. But congratulations to his in the semi-final, when he stand the chance. But maybe on Sunday we'll see him in the final, and then when he's 10, he'll stand and be the highest Australian Grand Slam winner.
Yeah, highest, yeah. So
Grand
with
Slam
10, yeah, exactly.
Win a record 10 and then equal the Nadal
22
record.
All right, with that, we draw a curtain on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Tomorrow we'll be back with another exciting and interesting edition of the program. Salifu, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for something.
All right, until we come your way tomorrow again, do have a wonderful time out there. My name is Afa Acho, and it's bye-bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.